Saturday, kids. What time is that?
Hey, it's Edson with GeekTime TV, and I saw this quite a while. I think it was like a month ago, and for some reason just I thought it wasn't real. Like I thought it was like someone was just like doing a practical joke, because it's significant. The original Star Trek Enterprise model is found after being missing for decades, but for some reason I didn't. Well, I knew the reason. I didn't really see it covered in a lot of places. I just saw like one little article about it. It was this article from the New York Times, and I didn't see it being talked about or anything like that. And I think it's I was afraid that it was like kind of like a scam or a joke, or just something that people just made up. So I didn't want to do a video on it. But now there's a recent update that I'll get to, which is kind of negative about it. But since I saw the update, I figured I'd cover the whole thing because I still haven't seen a lot of people talk about this. The original Star Trek Enterprise model is found after being missing for decades. The 33-inch model surfaced on eBay after disappearing around 1979. So over 40 years that it's been missing. That's and now they find it. An auction house is giving it to the son of Gene Roddenberry, the creator of Star Trek. And here's it's like an incredible piece of work here. Look at the details on this thing. The original USS Enterprise model was mostly made of wood by the model maker Richard C. Dayton for the Howard Anderson Company, a special effects company. This is like, forget CGI. This is like incredible craftsmanship. Look at the details on this. And this is the model that they used, I believe, on the during the beginning of the show. I just look at it. I just can't stop looking at this. So cool. The first model of the USS Enterprise, the starship that appeared in the opening credits of the original Star Trek television series, has been returned to Eugene Roddenberry Jr., the son of the creator of the series, decades after it went missing. After a long journey, she's home, Mr. Roddenberry wrote. For diehard Trekkies, well, I don't really like that word, more like Trekkers, but okay, for diehard Trekkies, the model's disappearance had become the subject of folklore, so an eBay listing last fall with a starting bid of $1,000 didn't go unnoticed. Red alert, someone in an online costume and prop making forum wrote, linking to the list. That's what I mean. It seemed kind of suspicious to me that all of a sudden this surfaced after being missing for so long. Mr. Roddenberry's father, Gene Roddenberry, created the television series, which first aired in 1966 and ran for 3 seasons. It spawned numerous spin-offs, several films, and a franchise that has included conventions and legions of devoted fans with an avid interest in memorabilia. The seller of the model was bombarded with inquiries and quickly took the listing down. So here is a picture of it again, with Gene Roddenberry's son. The seller contacted Heritage Auctions to authenticate it. The auction house's executive vice president, Joe Madalena, said on Saturday. As soon as the seller, who said he had found it in a storage unit, brought it to the auction house's office in Beverly Hills, California, Mr. Madalena said he knew it was real. That's when I reached out to Rod to say, "We've got this. This is it." Mr. Roddenberry, who is known as Rod, said on Saturday that he would restore the model and seek to have it displayed in a museum or other institution. He said reclaiming the item had only piqued his interest in the circumstances about its disappearance. Whoever borrowed it or misplaced it or lost it, something happened somewhere. Where has it been? It was unclear how the model ended up in the storage unit and who had it before its discovery. The original USS Enterprise, a 33-inch model, was mostly made of solid wood by Richard C. Dayton, a model maker for the Howard Anderson Company, a special effects company that created the opening credits for some of the 20th century biggest TV shows. An enlarged 11-foot model was used in subsequent Star Trek television episode and is now part of the permanent collection of the Smithsonian's National Air and Space Museum. Mr. Roddenberry, who said he gave the seller a reward for its recovery, but did not disclose the terms, assembled a group of Star Trek production veterans, model makers, and restoration specialists in Beverly Hills to authenticate the find. The group included a Star Trek art supervisor, Michael Okuda, and his wife Denise, an artist on Star Trek television series and films, and Gary Kerr, a Trek expert, who served as a technical consultant for the Smithsonian during a 2016 restoration of the 11-foot model. We spent at least an hour photographing, inspecting the paint, inspecting the dirt, looking under the base, the patina on the stem, the grain in the wood. It was unanimous. This is 100% the one, he said. Gene Roddenberry, who died in 1991, kept the original model, which appeared in the show's opening credit and pilot episode, on his desk. Mr. Kerr compared the model to the 1960s photos he had of the model on Mr. Roddenberry's desk. The wood grain matched exactly, so that was it, he said on Saturday. The model went missing after Mr. Roddenberry lent it to the makers of Star Trek the Motion Picture, which was released in 1979, Mr. Madalena said. So that's when it went missing, when Gene lent that out for Star Trek the Motion Picture. This is a major discovery, he said, likening the model to the ruby slippers from The Wizard of Oz, a prop that was stolen in 2005. While the slippers represent hope, he said the Star Trek Enterprise model represents dreams. So, again, when I first saw this, it was like it immediately piqued my interest. But I'm like, this can't be. It's got to be like someone was trying to run a scam like that have the original one. I hadn't even like thought about this for quite a while, and I really didn't think that was true, but they went and authenticated it. So apparently it is the model. And unfortunately, what I was talking about since this story came out, I believe about a month ago. Let me see, when was about a month ago. There's this update that I was talking about, and unfortunately, it's not a positive update because everyone still agrees it is the model, but now the Starship, this is from the LA Times, the Starship model and its celebrated return is now the subject of a lawsuit alleging fraud, negligent, and deceptive trade practice, highlighting the enduring value of memorabilia from the iconic sci-fi TV series. This is not a lawsuit alleging that it's fraud of the model. Everyone still agrees that it's the original model, but we're talking about what happened once the model was found. And of course, it always comes down to this. Unfortunately, not always, but unfortunately, it comes down to basic human greed when it comes to these things, which is just horrible that it has to be. This is kind of like a celebrated thing, and it should be something that people should be able to enjoy looking at it. And it's unfortunately it's going to be dragged into a lawsuit now. Who knows what's going to happen? The case was brought by Dustin Riech and Jason Rivas, longtime friends and self-described storage unit entrepreneurs who discovered the model among a stash of items they bought sight unseen from a lien sale at a storage locker in Van Nuys in October. It's an unfortunate misunderstanding. We have a seller on one side and a buyer on the other side, and Heritage is in the middle, and we are aligning the parties on both sides to get the transaction complete, said Armin Varshan, an attorney representing the Dallas-based auction house, adding that the allegations against his client were unfounded. The peer claimed that once the model was authenticated and given a value of $800,000, they agreed to co-sign it to an auction sale with Heritage planned for July 2024, according to the lawsuit. However, following their agreement, they alleged the auction house falsely questioned their title to the model, and then convinced them, instead of taking it to auction, to sell it for a lowball $500,000 to Roddenberry Entertainment Inc. So it was given the value of $800,000, and of course they didn't want it to go to auction. Well, I mean, I'm just going by what they're saying here. I'm not sure exactly if this is the actual truth. This is obviously what is claimed by these people that found it. According to the lawsuit, Eugene Roddenberry, the company's chief executive, had shown great interest in the model and could potentially provide a pipeline of memorabilia to the auction house in the future. Okay, so there's talk about here, I'm not sure how accurate this is, but talk about here that in return for the model, also there would be a way for these people to have perhaps other memorabilia. Here's another shot of it. Such a nice shot of this. You could see like a little bit of wear and tear here, but it's so intricate, so detailed. Oh, this is such marksmanship. I just could look at this for. Obviously, I wish I could have had it at my house so I could look at it all the time. They think we have a disagreement. They think we have a disagreement with Roddenberry, said Dale Washington, Rich, Riak, and Rivas' attorney. We don't. We think they violated proper law in the discharge of the fiduciary's duties. The two men allege they have yet to receive the $500 payment. So now it's like said it was worth $800,000. They were promised $500,000. They're saying they never even got the $500,000. And again, I hate that this type of thing has become now embroiled in kind of like, you know, greed money situation when it's like a piece of pop culture, a great piece of pop culture history. I have to go back to the original picture. I just wanted to keep looking at it. It should just be something, you know, where people get to enjoy looking at it and at a museum somewhere. But now who knows? I'll be seeing if there's any more updates, but it looks like it's now getting caught up in a lawsuit, and it's a shame, but it really is a nice piece. And after all these years, over 40 years missing, and now it's definitely the right one. Just unfortunate that it's got to get caught into this lawsuit, but I'll be looking out for more of this, more updates on this, and hoping to see where it's finally going to wind up, and maybe be able to take a look at it like closely if it winds up in a museum somewhere, and I hope it does. So that's it for now. Let me know if in the comments if anyone knows anything else about this. It definitely is real. Like I said, like they said, they authenticated it. So let me know what you think about this. What do you think about this piece of pop culture history, the unfortunate lawsuit? And thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for watching GeekTime TV. If you like this video, please subscribe to the channel. If you subscribe, make sure to check the little bell icon anytime someone from our network drops new content here. Want some GeekTime swag? Check out the merchandise available in the GeekTime TV store, linked in the channel description below. Share GeekTime TV with friends, and as always, thank you for your support. We'll see you soon.